What's good, everybody? Welcome back. We're gonna do another watch. What do you call these things?
Reaction,
A
I
reaction, but
guess.
it's an old reaction. It's an old one.
It's a re-react.
Uh, because people were asking us. They're like, "Hey guys, do you guys remember the Force Awakens?" I was like,
Mm,
"I remember that movie." They're like, "Do you remember how cool it was when you saw the teaser trailer?
mm.
Simpler times." And I was like, "How long has it been?" Well, it's been almost 9 years since the
Phew.
very first, can you believe that? Since the very first Force Awakens trailer blessed us, I guess, then
Ah,
tormented us, and I don't know what you wanna call it, but,
pre-dark times, pre-dark times.
yeah, before we knew what we were getting, I guess,
Yeah.
before we knew. But, real quick, let's watch the first one.
A trip down memory lane.
Alright? Let's watch the first one. It's only a minute long, but I remember when this thing dropped, I watched it 100 million times,
Oh, yeah.
you know?
We were right back to, like, that feeling, like, that prequel feeling. Everybody was freaking out, talking about what we could see. We were all pumped out of our minds about what was to come. That old-timey feeling.
all right, here we go.
Oh,
Starts
boy.
off real quiet.
Dun.
Yeah. We're like, what is it, Tatooine? What is this place?
Yeah,
There
yeah.
has been an awakening. Have you felt it?
All right.
Oh, man.
First time we saw Finn. Oh man, we were like, I was freaking out, man. I was like, oh, this is a guy incognito, man. He's a spy. Something's happening. What's going on?
Yeah. I just remember, like, a million times going over that little voiceover at the beginning. "There has been
There
an
has been an
awakening.
awakening. Yeah.
Have you felt it?" I'm like, "Is it Plagueis? Like, who could that be? Who would be so ethereal?"
I thought it was Plagueis. I thought it was
Yeah,
Plagueis for sure.
yeah.
All right, here we go. I was like, okay, droid, cool. I'm like,
That
no, what?
that scene got me so hyped.
I'm like, all right, I don't know who that is.
That.
The dark side and the light.
Ugh.
There it is, man. There it is. All right, the first shot of the Falcon. Yes, I'm talking over the music because of
Yeah.
because of YouTube.
It was the most perfectly made trailer. It was so perfect because it started out so serious. It was like, "We're back. We're taking this super serious. Everything about this, like, it's just gonna be incredible." And then they smack you with the John Williams.
It was. How many times did you watch it when it
Uh,
came out?
dude, I don't even know. I couldn't have counted. I couldn't have counted. You're looking for every little, like, EFAP through every single frame.
Yeah, yeah. I immediately like went everywhere to try to understand this lightsaber. Is it a new design? Is it an old
Yeah,
design? Is it more powerful than the ones that we've seen? Is
yeah.
that why it has exhaust vents? Like, what's going on here? At first, when I saw, I didn't like it, but then and this was, remember, this trailer came out a full year
Yeah.
before the movie. This is all we had, right? Just this
Yep.
trailer. There was nothing else. There wasn't, and just fan theories and stuff like that. There wasn't anything else. So it was like, I hate the lightsaber. That's like, oh, it's growing on me. Oh, I hate it. But who's this guy? I don't know. Like,
You remember all the
is it?
memes that they did with, like, the can opener coming off of
Yeah,
it and everything?
yeah. It was great. Did you have any theories as to who
I
this could have been?
honestly I had no idea. I'm like, "It's gotta be some Sith remnant or something," and he was able to recover, like Vader's crystal, and it was all unstable, and so it had to be vented out of the sides. Because I thought that has no practical use. Because, like, if a lightsaber slid down the side, it would just cut it off. So
Right.
there's no point. Yeah,
I
I don't
thought
know.
it
I was
was
hyped.
like someone of old. of like
Yeah.
really, really old that had. I thought it was this person's voice talking in the teaser trailer. This is
Yeah, I didn't
before I
think
knew it
so.
was Kylo Ren and all that stuff, but like that was my perfect fan theory. I was like, okay, I got a year to break this down. This is an old Sith person that probably doesn't age, could be Plagueis,
Yeah.
and decides to show up. The dark side of the Force has kept his essence and recreated him just for this time.
Fans are always better at this, man.
Dude, I know. And I was like, he's coming back. And actually, this scene right here wasn't actually in the film. This was shot just for the teaser trailer. I did not think at all like that Finn was like a possibly Force user or anything or a
Yeah.
runaway stormtrooper. I thought he was like a spy. And I was like, that's freaking awesome. When I saw the Falcon, I Han Solo, first thing. All right, we're gonna get Han.
Yeah.
Han's in
Yeah.
this first film. Like, here we go. The rumors are true. Han and
Because who else
Chewie
is
are
gonna
like
fly the Falcon, man? Like,
exactly.
yeah.
Exactly. I didn't know what to think when I first saw Rey. I just kind of figured another character, right? Like that was it.
I knew that was gonna be our next like Luke type
Oh,
character.
really?
100%.
I
100%.
didn't think anything of it.
Because they kind of they structured the trailer in that way. They were like, these are the different groups that are gonna be, conflicting in the trailer. So they kind of group them together. So like Finn and Rey, both on that, Jakku on the desert planet, and then they shot, basically this Empire that we didn't know what it was, the Empire, and then right after it, the X-wings, which was like that scene got me so stoked out of my mind.
I didn't think that through. I just thought this was another person of the rebellion, and they're purposely hiding, Mark Hamill, Harrison Ford, Carrie
Yeah,
Fisher, because they're, I totally get it where it's like not out with the old, in with the new. I didn't think it was going to be as horrific as it was
right.
in this sequel trilogy. I and this is all from this first trailer. I thought for sure it'd be this is the new band of we didn't need a rebellion anymore.
Yeah.
Death Star was, gone, and this is a little uprising. So there's a little rebel uprising to defend, and so these are the new guys, and they got to go call the old guys to come help them. They're like, "Hey, we've never done this before. Can you give us a hand?"
Yeah, so that was essentially kind of where my brain was at too, kind of taking away. They sort of did it in Ahsoka in like a weird way, but essentially you've got a small Imperial remnant coming back, and the Republic doesn't want to listen, and so you got to call the old crew. Like who's going to listen to us? Of course it's going to be Luke. Of course it's going to be Han. Of course it's going to be Leia. And I'm like, yeah, they're just like you said, they're just hiding them in the trailer because you don't want to blow the shot, right off the bat. Boy, was I wrong.
Yeah, and it was a cool year. Like just searching stuff. Then you would find like different things online of like crazy. "Well, I've got the leak," and it's like, man, it
Yeah.
was nothing like that. And then in October, the movie dropped in December. In October, we got this trailer, and I about lost my mind. This was the one right here. Are you ready
Yeah, this
to
one hurts.
relive 8 years ago?
This one hurts. John Williams did so good with his music too.
Yeah, he's the king.
Yeah.
I'm no one.
And this song is not on the soundtrack.
It's not.
Specifically made for the teaser trailer.
Oh, that was that was so cool.
Yeah.
Like, what is this red TIE fighter?
Nothing will stand in our way.
Good old lens flare
I will
Abrams.
finish
Yeah.
what you started.
Helmet! Darth Vader helmet!
There are stories about what happened.
It's true.
Ugh.
It's so good, man, right? It's so good. Knights of Red.
Yep.
The dark side. The Jedi.
Ugh.
They're real.
There's Luke, baby. I was like, I'm all in, man.
The Force. It's calling to you.
Leia.
Just let it in.
That's the one. You know, I think I missed a teaser trailer. I think there was one more.
Was there?
It was the yeah. Well, I'll get to that. I'll get to that. It was the first time you see Han Solo.
Chewie, we're home.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah. Oh wait, is it this one?
It might be the end of this one.
No, it's not.
No?
Man, it's been so long.
I know.
It's been so long.
Nearly a decade. Oh god, this one was so good, dude. That's when we knew it was like real. This was real.
Yeah, and again, this was the scene right here. Okay,
Yeah.
he's the Jedi. He's the one.
Yep.
Because I never would have thought that, like, you know, not to say anything, but like a normie would pick up a lightsaber, you know?
Yeah. Out of the question. Yeah. Wham wham.
And then let alone, and then we got to see Luke Skywalker with R2D2, and I was like, oh man, it's on. And still, even after seeing this trailer, I still felt the same way. It was like,
Dude, I was more stoked. Like I was hyped out of my mind for this movie. I can't tell you how excited I was for The Force Awakens. Like this was it. This is the beginning. Like here we go again, you know? Another decade of amazing Star Wars. Here we go.
what was your theory in watching that teaser trailer? Because that was the last one that we got.
Well, I mean, I don't know that really like a lot changed because like I said, I knew that you know, Ray was going to be pretty big at that point. I think we had confirmed it was Jakku, and that had made it into some stuff about, you know, basically the final battle between, you know, the Empire and the Rebellion taking place there, this massive battle. So you got this big ship graveyard. Um, the one thing that was sticking out to me was Finn holding a lightsaber, and
Yeah,
then
that was the big one for me.
yeah, and then you know, why is Luke basically holding on to R2 and there's burning buildings? Like I'm like, what happened? Like, let's go into that. Who are these night guys standing around the other Sith dude? Are those like Sith acolytes? You know, all these different things that never
That
happened.
man, they know how to do the teaser trailers
Yeah,
to definitely hook you
get you
in, because
hooked.
yeah, that just put everything in perspective for me. It was the same thing. It was like, yep, this is a small band of rebellions that are just rising up against this new dark force. Obviously now, the Sith's got a bunch of other Sith around him. You
Hmm.
know, the lightning was freaking awesome the way that was shot. And yeah, Luke's around a bunch of like things that are dying. So it's like, did Luke show up like, oh, I can handle it? You know, he ain't no Darth Vader, right? And
Yeah,
then
yeah,
things blow up, and it's like, okay, we got a bigger problem here, you know,
yeah.
because this was the first film, you know, and it's like, how are they going to do this? But yeah,
It's just
there was a teaser trailer in between. So let
I
me
think the biggest thing for me was the prospect of Luke basically coming out of retirement. So like he's been a peaceful, you know, a Yoda, like an instructor on a quiet planet. And then those dudes came in and burnt down the whole temple. And we're gonna see him come back with a not a vengeance, but you know,
as Master
yeah,
Skywalker.
yeah.
Like that's what I was hoping. This actually took place, I think this was the Star Wars Celebration teaser trailer. So this is the one here. They're so good. Yeah, this is the one. Still music on point.
Yep. Ugh.
Da 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 da. Sorry, I gotta hum over the music a little bit.
That's
I'm
okay.
like,
No, I mean,
is that a TIE fighter? What is that? The X-Wing?
yeah, I love it, man. I love it. It's just that brings back that Tunisia
Yeah.
perfectly.
The force is strong in my family.
And I heard
Oh,
Luke's voice. Yeah.
yeah, and then seeing the
My father
Darth
has
Vader helmet, dude.
I have it.
The nostalgia berries, man.
Yeah,
My
and he's got
sister
the
has
Anakin
it.
hand.
My sister.
You have that power too.
Man, so sick. Rabble, rabble, rabble. I was never interested in Phasma.
Chewie. We're home.
Dude, that was I just freaked out over that.
Oh my god, it's so frustrating.
I know. I know. I almost feel like at now you're like looking back, you're like, they should have just left the teaser trailers and been like, yeah,
There's
you
your
guys
movie.
make up your own fan
Yeah.
fiction.
It literally like it just it gets me emotional thinking about how incredible it could have been and just like how
Yeah.
frustrated I was.
Well, when I went in to watch The Force Awakens, I literally I didn't hey man, just gotta be honest, I didn't hate it. I was like, okay, this is kind of like the New Hope, you know, it was kind of like
It was
a
yeah, that's all it
same
was.
thing. And I kept checking my watch, you know, I'm like, all right, I'm an hour in. Where's Luke? I'm an
Yeah.
hour and like what I kept looking for Luke. I was like, where is Luke? Because I just wanted to see because we had video games, we had EU, we had all these things talking about Master Skywalker, you know, and it's like I just wanted to see and that's me being selfish, I guess. I wanted to see like what do you call it? Video game Luke Skywalker
Yeah, I
where
mean
it's like
yeah, it's what do they call him? Peak.
yeah,
I mean, that's peak Luke, that Master Skywalker, the guy after Return of the Jedi. And you know, the other thing too is we knew he was going to be older at this point. It wasn't
yeah.
going to be like the peak Luke that we got in Heir to the Empire, but something.
But I mean, well, we saw older Force users in the prequels, and they, you know, Count Dooku, he went ham with a light. He went toe to toe with Yoda.
Yeah,
You know what I
yeah.
mean?
Talk
So
about
it's
older.
like I'm like, and to be selfish, I was like, man, the technology is so much better. He's gonna look so good,
Yeah,
like flying through the air and picking up rocks and all that stuff. And so when I
going
saw The
ham.
Force Awakens, I just waited. I waited to. I just wanted to see Luke.
Yeah.
And we got him for what was it like 8 seconds at the end?
Yep. And you know what the weird part was, you know, the Force Awakens is the one that I hate the least out of the three for
Yeah,
sure. Because yeah, it's basically just a it's a reskin of A New Hope. But leaving the theater, I was still psyched out of my mind for the next movie because it's like, okay, here we go. Like now, here we go. Like here's Luke. What's gonna come next? You know, I didn't
well,
like that they, you know, obviously I have my issue with the ending there, but
I see. You read stuff like after the movie comes out, and you hear like certain interviews and stuff, and you read things that apparently when the lightsaber was in the snow, and you know Kylo Ren tried to grab it, and it went into Rey's hand.
mhm.
That's when I was like, uh, hold on a second here.
That's what Mark kept saying. Mark
You
was reading the
had me
script.
like, but apparently that was supposed to be Luke Skywalker, right?
Well, that's what Mark said. Mark was reading
Right,
the
right. That's
script.
what Mark
Yeah,
Hamill said. That
yeah.
that was now that would have been
It would have been perfect.
it would have been perfect in my you know if it was Luke and then he's like he
Saves
does a
Ray.
little just a little fight and then like the earthquake separates them. I'm
Yep.
okay with that. While Ray's tending to Finn, like okay, I'm cool with that. You
And then
know,
Luke goes, you know, hey, you got a lot to learn, kid. You know, come with
yeah,
me. I'm going to
something like
teach you.
that.
I mean, that would have been perfect. Whatever.
But when Ray caught it, I just remember just everybody was just like, "Huh."
Huh.
And then she went toe to toe with Kylo Ren for a little. You're like,
Yeah.
"Huh." I,
Hmm.
what did you think of like Han Solo's death?
So, it's a contentious opinion for me. I don't like the way they did it, but I know why they had to do it. I mean, Han was not Han, I'm sorry. Harrison was done. I don't think he wanted to be a part of it anymore. He was already wanting to get killed off in the original trilogy. So I get why they wanted to do it. I don't think
I
I
think
don't think I
everybody knew he was going to die going into the film just because of that reason.
Yeah, and I think the problem I think that a lot of people have is that it was a little bit unceremonious, and you have these characters who really know nothing about Han. They don't know Han at all, screaming and crying at the end, and it's like you don't even know Han. Maybe if Leia was there or Luke was there, it might have drawn a little bit more emotion. But
But that was the biggest blunder that everybody caught was, you know, Chewbacca
where's the
just
trio, bro?
walked.
Chewie doesn't even get hugged.
Nah, he just kind of walks by. Like,
Yeah,
yeah, it's just a big carpet, and they go hug Ray, and you're kind of like, huh,
huh? Yeah,
how
red
how
flags.
uh how do you miss that big matzo ball hanging out there, man? Like, how do you miss that one? Like,
There were
any
red
Star
flags.
Wars fan would have pointed that out and said, I
Yeah.
I don't care, man. Even if we got to film this in my garage, we got to change that. It's got to be Leia and Chewbacca. It's the little details that when you start to notice that Star Wars hasn't been on the big screen and they starting to screw up these little details, you're kind of like, huh.
Hmm. Hmm.
Interesting. Okay. All right. Well, all right. That one slipped by. Okay. But I listening to Adam Driver, who just recently did a podcast, when he talked about that scene, when did you see that recording, by the way?
Uh-uh.
Okay, I'm gonna pull this up because him killing Han the way he did makes perfect sense now that Adam Driver said, when I signed on to play Kylo Ren, this is what they were gonna do to the character.
Oh, yes. Yes, yes.
Okay, so this is Adam Driver talking about Kylo Ren and what was supposed to happen with that
But
character.
did you know that at least you're playing Vader 2.0? Like at least did you know that as
Yeah,
conceptually
I did.
going
Yeah,
in?
yeah. And I had an overall arc in mind that he wanted to do, which then changed. But his idea was that almost the opposite journey of Vader, where Vader starts the most confident, the most committed to the dark side, and by the last movie, he's the most vulnerable and weak, and he
Yes.
wanted to start at the opposite, where this character was the most confused and vulnerable, and by the end of the three movies would be most committed to the dark side. So I tried to keep that arc in mind, regardless if that wound up not being the journey anyway, because it changed obviously as we were shooting.
Yeah, right.
Right, but I was still kind of focused on that.
When did it change?
Uh, well, with Ryan, he took it into a different direction, but still,
Okay.
it kind of still tracked with the character. Then the last one, it changed into being, about them and the dyad and things like that.
And then again, so you
and kind of evolving into Ben Solo.
Right.
That was never part of it.
that wasn't either.
No.
Because
Well, Ben Solo, he was Ben Solo from the beginning, but
Right.
it wasn't. It was never a version where we actually see Ben Solo.
So yeah, he was supposed to kill his father and keep stepping deeper into the dark pit,
What a
right?
better way to go.
In the dark side, and that would have made more sense instead of him turning into I'm in the dark side and I'm confused and I like Ray now and we're together and let's fight the Emperor together. And
Yeah. I remember having so many discussions with, friends because I wasn't on YouTube at that time. And they said, Kylo's so whiny. He's such a whiny little brat. And I said, I'm telling you, they're doing this because he's going to start out that way and then he's going to be bad.
and
I
that's
mean,
what he said the character was supposed to be.
Yeah, it made perfect sense to me. It made perfect sense. It's kind of like the Anakin thing, where he was just kind of whiny and unpredictable. It just made sense to me.
So
Then they
your
blew it.
overall, I know, man. They gave us 3 teaser trailers that just I absorbed a lot of hours in my life.
Yeah. Thanks for opening up old wounds, Jay. Really appreciate it.
Well, for those that actually watched this video, what did you guys think when you saw these teaser trailers? Were you like excited where it's like Star Wars is back? And then you saw the film and you're like, huh,
Mm.
I don't know about this. Because if you like these reactions, we could go to the next one
Yeah.
and react to the Last Jedi teaser trailers and how we felt going into the beginning of the end for me.
Yeah. The first 15 minutes that movie ended Star Wars.
Yeah, that's pretty much how it was. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this little trip down memory lane. Make sure you check out X-Wing's channel. And yeah, these videos are kind of fun for me, but
Yeah.
sad at the same time.
Yeah. Old wounds.
Ah, Star Wars. Man, 9 years ago.
Yep.
9 years ago.